Hi there, this is my assignment for or this is my video for the first assignment at Med 3 in procedural programming. We are supposed to do a small game or quiz-like thing, which includes pointers, functions, arrays, loops, and structs. And basically what this game will do is it will allow the user to input a word of any length, and then it will output the word from a randomized starting point and the anagram of the word. Now what we see here is my function declaration, and we have the and, which makes sure that this string, the name, will be changed whenever the function is actually used, and we have the other string here, which is basically just the input name or the parameter for this input name. If we go into the main, I have my jar here, which is standing for continuation, and I did a do while loop, so you can actually input another word later if you say that you want to run the program again. I clear the screen. Anyway, here's the input, and I state that the OP name opposite name is blank, so I output here, then I call the function, and where we call the function here, first thing it does is we have the reverse, which is my struct I mentioned earlier. Then we say that the integer RA is supposed to be a random, which is basically the random is modulus by the parameter name, or the length of the parameter name. And then we set the temporary integer to be 0, which is used later on. Then here we have the pointer, and I say it's an empty integer. Here I make sure that the random is starting from the time seed. And so the actual thing the program does, here do a for loop, quite simple, and it's supposed to run for every character in the input, which means if I input a name of 6 characters, well, it will run through this 6 times. Here I call the struct, saying it's equal to the name length. So basically I'm saying that this point in the array, which is the name, is supposed to be 6, or whatever, not necessarily 6, but the name length, minus 1. And then you just do minus I to say that each time the for loop runs, you subtract 1. Basically, this is just reversing the name, quite simple. You could do it by doing the opposite for loop, running from the high end to the low instead, which is shown here, basically. The other thing the program does is output the name, but spelled out from a random starting point. Here I'm using the pointer, basically, saying it's the same as the random, or it's pointing to the random. Then I say that if the value of the pointer is less than the name length, then you're supposed to output the pointer value, and then I'm adding 1 to the random number. This will make sure that at some point the random will reach the length of the name. When it does that, it's simply supposed to see out the start of the name, and if you remember, I set temporary to be 0 up here, and then I'm adding 1. And since this is within a for loop, we will never have it print out more than the amount of times, or the amount of characters the name or the word consists of. Therefore, we will get from the random starting point till the end, then from the beginning till the random starting point. And if we want to run the program once. See here you can enter a word. So I'm gonna enter my name. Then I get a randomized starting point, which in this case have been S. And it runs through the rest of the name. Then it takes the anagram, and then it asks me if I want to go again. And if I want that, get another possibility to enter something. I can enter any length of word, as long as there's no spaces. And there we go.